I'm going to teach you how to take your energy and your focus and your joy back from a world that is designed to rob you of it. The 7 things on the checklist that I'm about to share with you, these are the secret, the foundational building blocks to you taking your power back from a world that is trying to steal it. I mean, have you stopped to think about how you are now living in a moment in history where everything about the world today, it is purposefully stealing your time. You've heard the phrase, time is money. So is your energy, your focus, your joy. I mean, the headlines make you feel helpless. Work is endless. Social media, oh my gosh, doom scrolling, stealing joy, stealing time, stealing energy. And I'm going to tell you something. You have to wake up and take your power back. Having a great week is a combination of 7 simple things. And I can't wait to share this with you because you can do every single thing on this checklist. And the checklist is what makes this research that you're about to hear from Harvard Medical School, Harvard Business School, all of these incredible studies that have been done around the world. Let's start with number 1. And the very first thing on the checklist to creating a great week is you got to do a brain dump. And here's what you do. You take out a piece of paper and you just start writing down everything that is in your head. And it's going to be random stuff. And one of the reasons why a brain dump is so liberating is because, first of all, every time you write something down, you feel a little space in your mind free up. It's really cool. The second thing that you're going to notice is, holy cow, I actually carry a lot around, and you're going to be kind of impressed with your mental capacity. That brings me to item number 2 on the checklist for having a great week. You ready? You're going to free yourself. What does that mean? You're going to free yourself of all the things on that little brain dump that you're carrying around mentally. Here's what we're going to do. This is the most liberating thing in the world. You are going to cross things off. There is so much on that list that you have zero intention of doing this week. Just put a cross right there. Just take a Sharpie, wipe it right off the list. That's where you're going to free yourself of the burden of carrying this around. There are things on that brain dump list that are staring you in the face. And now that they are out of your mind, dear Lord, checklist item number 2, set yourself free. You're not doing it this week. Cross it off the list. Cross off absolutely everything that you're not doing this week. The third thing on the list is you're going to choose one thing. So as you stand in front of the things that are left, I want you to take a deep breath and I want you to say to yourself, of all the things that are left on this list, what's the one thing on this list that if you were to fast forward to next weekend and you look back on this week that you're about to live, you fast forward 7 days from now, if you actually got a little progress done on that, if you actually moved the ball down the field, that you personally would feel better. What is that one thing? When you circle this thing, you're not committing to getting it done. This is a really important nuance here. And there's a lot of research that explains why I'm telling you, I'm not expecting you to complete it. All you got to do in circling it is find 15 minutes. I call this your hot 15. This is 15 minutes where you are going to schedule time to just work on it and make progress. There's a lot of research around this, and it taps into something called the progress principle. See, there was a study at Harvard Business School where they found that one of the most important things that you can do every single week is to have this sense that you're moving forward on things that matter to you. They said, based on the research, the most important thing is simply to feel like you made progress. And this is a critical difference because you're probably so focused on getting things done that you're missing where the real juice is. So you don't know what to squeeze. That brings me to number 4 on our checklist for having a great week. And this one has some awesome research around it too. You're going to love this. So while you're standing there with the calendar open and you've done all these amazing things and you got the Hot 15 scheduled, I want you to scan the week ahead. And here's what you're going to do next. Because item number 4 is plan your meals. One way to have a great week is to actually put on the checklist meal prep. And here's what this looks like. You're going to have your calendar out, just scan the week, and then say to yourself, what could I actually plan ahead? And there's so many ways that this could look. When you do this, you feel more in control of the week. And if you want a great week, you don't want to walk into the kitchen and feel like when you open the fridge, the only thing that you see in there is a mirage in a desert because you haven't gone to the grocery store and you haven't planned this. This is item number 4. People who plan their meals, the research says you have better nutrition, you maintain a healthier weight, you save money, and it's better for your mental health. No joke. The research has shown that people who take the time to prep meals for the week have lower stress. Why? Because they have it covered. This makes sense, doesn't it? Now let's move on to checklist item number 5. 1 workout. That's it, because that's another thing that makes up a great week, because there's research around the power of 1 workout, even if it's just 15 minutes. Now, this study enrolled, check this out, 72,000 people, and it tracked their physical activity over 5 years. And in the published findings, even the people who only did 15 minutes per week of vigorous physical activity had a 17% lower risk of death from any cause and death from cancer compared with people who did nothing. And with about 50 minutes per week, death from any cause reduced by 36%. And how are you going to get that in? You're not going to do it while you're standing there with your brain dump and your things you've crossed off and the thing that you've circled and your meal planning. You're going to plan for it. The 6th thing that makes for a great week, plan time for rest. Now what I want you to look for is I want you to find a moment of quiet. My only requirement is that you're not looking at your phone. That's it. You got to rest. What I'm talking about is scan your calendar. And I want you to find a time this week where you can give your brain and your body a little rest. Well, I want to tell you a little bit about the research on this, because the research says that if you are resting, you're getting something incredibly important done. First of all, you're reducing your stress levels. They found that a short period of rest, even just 10 minutes, can activate your body's parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system is basically your calm, resting, confident state. And it helps you counteract your stress response. What's the second thing that you're doing while you rest? You're increasing your mental clarity and focus. So when you're resting, you're actually increasing your ability to process things, to face the rest of the day. And the third thing that rest does, well, it improves your physical and emotional health. And that brings me to the 7th thing that is going to be part of your great week. And it is the 7th item on the checklist. You got to connect with somebody. It relates to the most important study that's ever been done on human connection and happiness of all time. It is called the Harvard Study of Adult Development. So what did they find about studying health and happiness in human beings for 80 years? Well, let me give you the findings in a nutshell. You need relationships to make you happy and healthy. Relationships protect you from life's challenges. They help delay mental and physical decline. Participants in this 80-year-long study that had strong social ties, they experienced longer, healthier lives compared to those who were less connected. People who were lonely had earlier health decline and were less satisfied with their life. I love this checklist because you can come back to it over and over and over again. And this checklist summarizes into action the foundational research that creates the building blocks to not only a great week, but a much better life.